Hey guys, Joe here, and I'm doing a pickup video. Every now and then, my favorite couple from Bluemont, who go out and buy estates and storage units and whatnot, call me up and tell me they have something. Sometimes it's something I really have to have because it's a really good deal, and sometimes it's just junk that I really couldn't care less about. This is 80% of the way into the latter because I actually was quite hesitant to take all of this, and in fact they told me about it before Christmas and I didn't do anything until after Christmas, and I'm going to show you what they are. This is old vintage stuff. The newest stuff that was in there was a couple of fat PS2s. This one's got some kind of skin on it, but whatever, and a slim PS2 and an Xbox 360 Kinect that I'm not going to try to get. There was also a couple of other things in there that I already sold, which basically made all the money back already. And the rest of this stuff, I'm going to go through it, see if any of it's worth anything, and quite honestly, just dump it. I don't care. There's a bunch of these Odyssey 2 carts. I had an Odyssey 2 for about 4 minutes one time, and I got rid of it because I had no games at the time, and quite frankly, I didn't care. This is before I started playing video games. I got into video games at the beginning of the Nintendo era, so NES, Super Mario Brothers, World Class Track Meet, all that crap. So I was not invested into the scene with Odyssey and Pong and those because I was slightly too young for that. But I'll go through these and see if these have any value whatsoever, because there may be a collector out there that wants these, but they're not in the box, which is the other reason why I don't think they're actually worth anything. With that comes a few loose games for the Atari 2600. At least I'm assuming these are 2600. That's what they look like to me. You got stuff like Street Racer, Video Checkers, Barnstorming, which is kind of funny because it's basically from after World War I. There were tons of aircraft left over, and pilots were able to buy them for pennies on the dollar, so they used to do impromptu air shows. It's actually where air shows started from. You can go back and check it out. They would buy these World War I biplanes and triplanes, and they would fly them real low to the ground. They would have wing walkers, and one thing they also would do is literally the super brave pilots that were willing to do it, they would actually fly a plane into a barn, and that's where that comes from. None of those I think are worth anything. You got like Yar's Revenge, which I think is worth something. I can't recall. I'll have to double check. So that's it for the loose stuff, and the main reason I even agreed to take all this was, number one, they gave me a good price, and number two, because there was lots of box stuff. And when I say lots, I mean lots. These are all boxed games with the games inside, and I'm going to run through them pretty quickly, but I may stop and talk about one or two of them. For example, this was the biggest thing. This caught my eye the most. Star Raiders. This is a DC Comics tie-in from 1976, believe it or not. 1976, because there was a comic book that was created in the tie-in called Atari Force, and this game is kind of based on that. So in fact, when you look at it, there's the box, and it was in good shape except for where they opened it. It actually comes with an Atari Force comic book. Smaller comic book, but a comic book. And of course comes with the instruction manual along with the catalog for Atari games. So yeah, it's pretty cool that there was a tie-in, but this one is also a little bit extra special in that it has one other party trick, is an included video touchpad. This was something you needed to play the game, and it wasn't just the Star Raiders that used it. I believe there were other games, but I've never actually looked at it because, wow, I don't think this thing was ever used more than once. It's in really good shape. But I've never seen other games that utilize this pad. Since I'm not an Atari collector, I'm hoping to actually sell this on. However, I wouldn't be opposed to keeping it just because of the fact that it's kind of rare and it's complete, at least as far as I can tell. And I'm happy that there are boxes. I just wish some of them were in slightly better shape. Like this one's got a tear on the side, but the overall structure is still there, so that's pretty good. I was trying to say cool and good at the same time, so it came out could. Wham. Alright, let's go through some of these games, and I'm going to create 2 different stacks because some of these boxes are in better shape than other ones. But you got this one, Brain Games, which is falling apart. Solaris, which, funny enough, has the exact same cover art as Star Raiders, but the game on the back looks completely different, so that's weird. Real Sports Baseball, ooh, $2 worth of coupons inside. Atlantis, which looks like a Missile Command style game. Berserk, which I've heard of, but I've never actually played it. Football, and this is American football, not soccer or football for all of our European and other nation viewers. Canyon Bomber, which looks like it's air sub kind of a thing because you got a bomber up top and a submarine on the bottom. Basketball, soccer. Some of these even still have the plastic on them, but they're, you know, pretty degraded. Dig Dug for the 7800. Next up, I have the video game that almost ended video games as we know them. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I wish it was in slightly better shape, but it is complete, so that ought to help. Battlezone, which is almost an FPS tank game. Air Sea Battle, and it's actually kind of funny because it says that this was free when you bought Street Racer, and I have Street Racer loose, so maybe I'll bundle those together. Get to the chopper. Chopper Command. This is probably in one of the best shape. For use with the Atari computer system. A game called Xevious. It's dangerous. It's devious. It's Xevious. Never heard of it. Looks kind of stupid. World Classic Asteroids. Everybody has seen Asteroids. Hey, why'd the chicken cross the road? He was forced to in a game called Freeway. This is a chicken version of Frogger, basically. There are 8 patterns, which means that you can learn the patterns pretty easy. Stargate, which was quoted as being the best 2600 video game Atari has ever done. Kangaroo for the Atari 2600. The original Bug Blasting Classic. This is actually a classic. This one is actually in really solid shape, too. Centipede. The game's got bugs. They should have put that on the cover to E.T. And the last one, which is pretty relevant these days because of all the Star Wars crap, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. It's complete, although the sticker has delaminated, but it is complete and in good shape, so it can just be attached back on. So, honestly, this is probably the most valuable one in the bunch. And there was a couple of boxes that I need to refill, and one is this one, the Mario Brothers. Yes, this is the Mario Brothers on Atari, back before Nintendo had their own console. And yeah, I know where there's a copy of this in my storage locker, so I will just throw a copy in here, and this will be complete. So yeah, that was it for the super retro stuff. I did get a few Xbox and PS2 games. You got a couple of the Pac-Man rallies. Pac-Man Rally 2, Pac-Man Rally 3. Then you got a few other games like Superman Returns. I hated this game, but I liked flying around. Grand Theft Auto 3 out of the Grand Theft Auto collection, which I have up there, so that's fine. Then you got Herbs, Sims in the City, so that's kind of meh, but it's fun to have. So that was a small pickup. Doesn't really mean anything. There weren't any really good games in there, but the games that I did get were fair. I will play them. What's that? 14 minutes. Why? Too long? Alright. I'm being told that we're running a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one now with my usual. If you have any comments, leave those down below. If you would like to subscribe, go ahead and do that. Become a Patreon, and we can get more finds together. Click over here to watch another video, and then feel free to private message me if you want to donate anything to the channel. I will be getting a P.O. box. But until then, if you would like to send me something, I will just give you my address so you can also come over and break into my apartment. And, as always, talk to you later.
Are you my ride?
Yep, just get in the trunk.
Are you sure it's safe?
You'll be fine.